So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I tried to do 2 live workshops on YouTube and the internet kept crashing. So I'm just going to record this on my camera as if it is live so you can feel the energy. That was the whole goal of going live. So in this lesson, what I wanted to talk about was how creativity mirrors your soul. How is it a mirror for who you are, what you stand for, your emotions, as well as what is it trying to communicate with you? I believe that creativity and art is the oldest method of nonverbal communication that we have had since the dawn of time, where we drew inside caves and probably lined up rocks in circles, right? To symbolize something, regardless if it's a power of transition or a milestone that's happening in our lives. So I think of creativity as like a sacred conversation that you're always having with yourself. And it's so valuable to honor this piece. Knowing what your thoughts and emotions are and being able to verbalize it all the time and be super articulate is pretty unrealistic. So I like to tap into like colors and symbols and what does a piece of art mean to you, right? So we're going to create something layer by layer. I invite you to take this moment to grab a piece of paper and some colors from your art stash, whatever you have available. I have some pencil crayons and some watercolors. I have water, and all you need is one brush if you're going to go with it. Keep it simple. I always say 5 materials or less, because then we get really over encumbered and then there's too many things happen and it makes it harder for us to create. For those who are new here, I don't know if I did this. My name is Jenny. I am a psych nurse, healing arts facilitator, space holder, and lifelong creative. I think I'm getting tired. So this would be a perfect time to share a quick story and a bit of a grounding before we move into our practice today. I'm going to talk about anxiety and doubt. And you know what? I'm just going to reflect straight on to trying to create a YouTube live workshop where I get to share my offerings. And it just didn't work. And I felt so frustrated that I thought I was going to give up. And then I did it a second time and it still didn't work. Oh my gosh. So it brings up a lot of doubt and judgment on my capabilities of running technology, YouTube, organizing my, workshops in a way where it's going to free flow. When I'm in the flow state, it's totally fine. It's getting into the flow state. It's getting started that I always find is the most difficult. It's when my nervous system is most deregulated and I feel the least centered. So that's why I always start with the SPARK method. So the SPARK method, as a quick introduction, stands for S to shift and see, P, play in presence, A, activate awareness, R, to release and reflect, and K, to kindle. Now it sounds really easy, but there's a lot of space holding for yourself that goes through each one of these processes. And we're going to practice that today. I might not note each step, but you're going to notice when they happen, okay? So the very first thing we're going to do is our S. We're going to shift and see. So the first thing that we've done, we've set up a space, right? We're going to start shifting into a space of creativity. And we're going to be able to ground in for a minute or two. And I'm going to help you connect to yourself, calm your nervous system, and give yourself a moment to just sit here and come into presence, P, before we play and activate. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to invite you. You can put your hands on your paper if you feel called, or your hands resting on your lap. And if it feels safe to do so, close your eyes. If not, it's okay if you want to just soften your gaze or pick a spot in your room that you want to look at. I'm going to start with your breath, because this is always where we ground into. This is how we can slow down our heart rate and calm down our nervous system. Deep breath in through the nose. Filling up with air, letting go, exhaling through the mouth, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. In through the nose, bringing in any calm, gratitude, thanking yourself for showing up for this practice today, and releasing anything that doesn't serve you, any tension you have, stress in the day, worrying about any obligations. Let's just let that go for a minute. And then breathe in calm, gratitude for your practice. Out through your mouth. And just come back to your breath at your own rhythm. And just understand that this is your anchor. You can always come back to this. This is what keeps you alive. What keeps you grounded is your breath. So before we open our eyes, I ask you, what are you feeling right now? It's all welcome here. Everything from being anxious and restless to being calm and tranquil. Can you associate this with a color? And that's the color we're going to pick when we come out of this practice. Is there a symbol that comes into mind that resembles what you feel right now? Take as long as you need here. And for those that are ready, you can feel free to flutter your eyes open if they were closed and come back to this space. I invite you to grab any color that called to you and draw the symbol that called to you, if there was one, or a shape. For anyone who didn't have a shape and don't know where to start, I usually just start from doing lines from the top to the bottom, from side to side. You just do the lines and you'll start seeing something emerge. It could be straight, they could be wavy, they could be zigzaggy. And I'm gonna do it lengthwise with my pencil crayons. You'll have to give me feedback later if you like these types of videos better, like the live, not real live, but the unedited ones, because I'd rather make more workshops than edit more videos. So I'm trying to find a balance in between. And if you feel called, switch colors. Go ahead. Anytime you like to switch colors. There's an intuitiveness to when we switch colors of what comes next. And as you're drawing your lines, if you are a person who likes to write and journal, you can grab a pen. And in between the lines, figuratively and literally, write down how you feel right now. So I'm going to grab my pen and I'm going to write down, so this is mine, I'm going to write down in between the lines how I feel. right now. I wrote, I feel frustrated with YouTube. I feel grateful for this practice with others. Because in my mind, you are here doing it with me, so we share the energy. So I filled it in like this, if you can see. And going forward, if you're not into writing at all, it's also okay to make shapes. So if you're feeling like you just want to make some lines, we're just going to fill in the lines. You could do stripes, you can do crisscrosses, you can fill them with bubbles or zigzags, as much or as little as you like. There's a shape that really called to you. I'm doing spirals right now, and swirls. So again, here's a picture, if you can see it. So you can kind of look at what you're doing or spaces that you're avoiding, right? There's white spaces that I haven't filled in. So the next part is, if you still feel like you want to write, the next one is, what do you want to feel? So, want to feel calm, confident, that in there. And it's nice that your subconscious mind just kind of like knows what the answer is. Feel free to continue to color and make shapes. Oh, dropping pencilgrams. So I felt called to fill in some of these here. And just know that we're going to come to a stopping point, just to be mindful of time. There we go. So just paying attention to what comes up, honoring that space. And every time you make a mirror for yourself and how you're feeling right now and how you want to feel, you'll see that it's different. The shapes are different, the colors are different. It's like no two snowflakes are the same. You're not the same every day. You're evolving more and more with each day that passes. So honor that and celebrate it. And for those creatives out there, that's all of you. I hope this practice helped you find some flow and honor the presence in your day. Continue to work on it. Is there any more closing thoughts? I guess the last thing is, if you can share what you've created and what came up for you, that would be amazing. I also have a school community called the Creative Spark, where we believe in the healing power of art. I also provide one-to-one coaching. If you feel called, absolutely send me a message. If not, that's totally okay. Thank you so much for taking time to make this practice a part of your day. I hope that you receive something, a reflection of yourself that you can draw some insights out of. Thank you so much for your time.